Is everyone still on?
Yep.
Cool. Um, Allison, did you invite Rachel as well?
I tried to. I tagged a whole bunch of people, and then I was putting it in the chat and everything. So I was just kind of hoping people were seeing it. But I
Okay.
think I tagged her in a bunch of stuff last night too.
Quite a few listed that were wanting to attend, so give them at least probably 5 minutes here to get started. Make sure we have everyone.
Okay.
Josh, are you downtown?
I am, yeah. I just switched coffee shops to a Starbucks because I wanted to sit outside.
Yeah.
So I'm downtown.
I work at the Pavilion. Just are you just off of downtown?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I work at the big brick building.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, our headquarters will be right off of 6th Street downtown, so
Great.
we should be good to go. I'm going to go there today.
Rachel asked a question. She doesn't sure. She's not sure if she has a mic, but that she is on. So I think I'm trying to see if there's any other. I think we have one viewer. We have a couple viewers popping on right now. So if we give them a few more minutes, hopefully we'll have everyone that signed up to at least watch and participate.
Sure.
Christina M also is joined. She doesn't have a mic as well, so we have a few people viewing.
Is Rachel at 858-4311? Somebody just texted me and said they're on the call, but they don't know if they don't know if they're on the mic or not.
Have them send me a message through just through the SD Volunteers for Progressives, and that they can get a link. As long as we have active seats open, we can add them as active participants.
Can I send the link to them that you sent me?
Yes, that will work as well.
Okay. Yes, it ended up being Rachel.
Perfect. Heather, if you're able to send a message to SD Volunteers for Progressive Candidates for the host, I can send you a link to join.
Josh, it sounds really nice wherever you are.
I forgot to mute myself. Yeah, right now it's really nice.
Can hear birds chirping and everything behind you.
Rachel, you should have the link now. I think a message should pop up. Let me know if it doesn't. I think we'll probably have as many people as we're going to get right now on.
If we can get Rachel on the call or somebody from Rapid City, that would be great too, because I mean, then we can actually say that we got somebody on the east side and the west side, and then someone for like the natives part of the call.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping to get. I don't have everyone's contacts directly yet, but we'll be able to add after this.
Well, and anything that we discuss here today will disseminate to the group who was unable to join us. This is kind of last minute. We understand. So.
Did we lose Allison? It looks like we might have.
Looks like we have five people viewing it.
Yeah. Welcome back, Allison.
And then, did she figure it out?
I sent her the link. She hasn't popped up yet.
Okay, I think her microphone was mute and she didn't know how to turn it off.
There we go. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, I'm Liz.
Oh, okay. We have two people, Liz and Rachel.
Great. That's wonderful. Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, there we go. Just takes some time.
Just takes a little time.
Hey, we're there.
Hey,
Check.
Hello.
can you see us?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey.
Hi,
Woohoo.
Rachel.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Rachel.
Hey, everyone.
We have two people, Liz and Rachel.
Great. That's wonderful. Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, there we go. Just takes some time.
Just
If
takes
you
a
have
little time.
any other windows open, maybe
Hello. We're there.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Alice, guys. Hi, guys.
Hi, Rachel.
Hey, everyone.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, okay, so we've got Eric Terrell here. He's co-chair of Black Hills Bernie's Awareness Meeting. And we've got Miller over here. He is our volunteer coordinator.
Rachel, I think you have a second window open. That's supposed
Hi, Alice, guys.
Can you close it?
Let's see. Oh, I think that was me. Sorry, I was trying it in 2 different browsers because it didn't work the first time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we can go pretty well.
Oh, I think that was me. Sorry, I was trying it in 2 different browsers because it didn't
Can
work
you
the first time.
make sure any secondary windows are closed? You only have the one main one open.
Okay.
Okay. That was weird.
Yeah, so if you have secondary windows open, you'll start getting a loop, and so you need to make sure just the main window here is open. Otherwise, it'll just start cycling, and we'll get constant feedback.
Oh, okay. Did we lose anyone?
Hey,
Or
we lost Rachel and them, but
Okay. That's not good.
well, while we wait for them to rejoin, I think we can probably just get started. So if Josh, if you just want to start going, once they rejoin, we can pick up with them.
Sure. Well, thank you all for doing this. I'm really excited to be in town. I'm sure that you all have done so much the past year. So I think I don't want to sit here and project and talk about myself. I will give you a little bit of background data and info, and then we can just go around the horn if that's all right with everybody, because I like to get to know everybody. So my name is Josh. I'm the state director. Hopefully we'll be getting some more staff here. It's kind of all up in the air. But I've previously been in Iowa since September. Then after Iowa, I was with a small team in Oklahoma. And then after Oklahoma, I went to Nebraska. And then after Nebraska, I was in Indiana. So I've been bouncing around a bit with the campaign and have had some pretty good string of success thanks to some really great local Bernie organizations and volunteers. So I'm thrilled to be able to collaborate with you all. I think what I see my role being here is just more of a connector and convener of resources than anything. So I think, we're at a good point in the campaign. Now it's kind of the focus is we're here just to focus on South Dakota. Kentucky and Oregon are going to need some help, but we have to kind of take care of our own business in our own backyard. So we're not going to get the love that California is going to get. However, I think with a pretty concerted effort, we can do a really good job in the state. We feel like it's pointing in our direction, and with a good ground game that we already have, I think, intact here from just reaching out to some groups, I think we're going to win it here. Hopefully at the margin that is going to make a slight difference on delegates. So we're pumped to be here. We're in it all the way to the convention. Whether or not we have one staff member or two staff member, right now we're putting all of our eggs into California as far as a field perspective goes, but we do want to make sure that the rest of the states, we're coordinating with you all amazing volunteers to get this thing done, because we expect to be at least 25 states in the win column by the end of June 7th. So that's a little bit about myself, to blab and to ramble, but I'd like to hear more about what you all have done and where you all are at across the state.
So, Allison, do you want to kind of touch base? I think you've been involved for a while now, and we can just go through everyone here.
Okay, so far, I'm Allison Renville. I'm the delegate for Bernie from District 1. I have consecutively been involved on every campaign in South Dakota for the last probably around 13 years or so, since I was 17, getting ready to vote in the primary. And with all of the experience that I was able to garner from working with the Obama for America campaign, this grassroots movement is nothing new to somebody like me. You know what I mean? And we were, when we met at the state caucus, and we all got chosen to create a network between all of us in the state and try to prepare ourselves the best that we can, for your arrival and for the arrival of the whole entire campaign, in hopes that not only would we be utilized, but in hopes that we would have a base of of demographics to know exactly what we need to do here in the state to help the campaign succeed. And as far as the native vote goes right now, it's still kind of maybe about 70-30, but majority of the people here on the reservations and, you know, across, you know, the whole entire state understand that Bernie Sanders does have, you know, that understanding of Native American issues and does, you know, fully, completely support everything that we're doing, you know, and, you know, we just really look forward to keeping involved and stuff. And, you know, and like you said, we're taking this all the way to the convention, and, you know, like, we're all really looking forward to working with you guys and, you know, offer any resources that we can.
All right. Does anyone else want to go, or would you like to go?
Sure. I'm happy to be involved. So is Chris. We're newlyweds, and right now we're in Rapid City, but we're located in Sioux Falls. We've been volunteering with the campaign since about December. We went down to see Bernie in Sioux City and got pretty revved up by his message. My political background has been primarily with the Democratic Party. I campaigned pretty heavily for Tom Daschle back in the day, and then I also volunteered for Larry Pressler's Senate campaign. So my experience is with the establishment, but it's always a learning curve. So I'm excited to represent a candidate that I wholeheartedly believe in this time around. I think this has been the first campaign that I volunteered in that I'm all in. I haven't always felt that way with some of the candidates that we've been provided. So I think I'm ready to do whatever I can to help Bernie succeed.
And I'm Chris Wire. I don't know if everyone knows that this is my wife, Ann Wire. So I've been involved just since December as well, on and off. No previous background, so just winging it as I go here. Think if anyone else wants to jump in.
I'll say something, but I don't know if I'm supposed to click on anything. Can everybody hear me okay? Or okay.
Yep, we can hear you.
So I'm new to Google Hangouts, but I'm not new to politics. I worked for a congressman I'm from Texas originally, and I worked for a congressman from South Texas in D.C. I worked on the Hill. He was a Democrat, and his name is Henry Cuellar. Anyway, I lived in Kansas for the past 5 years, and so in 2015 I got involved with the Bernie campaign and actually know a lot of people that were instrumental in helping Bernie get Kansas. And then when I moved here in August of last year, I immediately hunted down, because Iowa happens so early, it happens in, like, I think it was February 1st or something, hunted down people that were for Bernie in Sioux City, because I only live 15 minutes from Sioux City, and got to meet a lot of cool people in Iowa and get involved there. And then now we're all just, I guess, trying to get in this together and help Bernie pull out a win for South Dakota. I live in Elk Point, but I commute to Vermillion. I work at the university, and yeah, so I've met a lot of students, a lot that have been on the fence, and once you really start to talk to them about being aware of what's going on in our country and the money and politics and that sort of thing, it's not that hard to go a step further and make that connection to Bernie. And it's been amazing to see how many people, how many students have been open, but they just need to be more aware. And so I'm excited to be involved, and thanks for letting me join y'all.
Okay. My name is Amanda Thronson, and can you guys, everybody hear me? We're good? Okay. And I am married to Paul Thronson's cousin, Joe. Paul brought me on board here. I worked for President Obama in 2008 and have done politics for a long time. I have a degree in political science, so, but currently I'm a teacher in South Dakota. And I live in Pierre, which is incredibly red and kind of hard to be Democrat here in Pierre, but this is where I'm based out of. And willing to do anything to help Bernie in this campaign. So.
And for, I guess more for your sake, Josh, Paul Thronson, he's not going to be able to make it today, but he's done a lot of the phone banking in the Sioux Falls area and has helped coordinate and bring a lot of people together in the last few months. So unfortunately, he could not join the call at this time.
And I'm Rachel Caesar. We're here with the Black Hills for Bernie Sanders group. Can everyone hear me all right? Everyone hear me? Okay. And then to my right is Eric Terrell. He's also co-chair. We've got Miller. He is our volunteer coordinator. He's also trying to work with some of the other counties, Custer County, Lawrence County, to make sure that they're in the loop too. So that's kind of what we're doing out here.
Yeah, sure. My name is Eric Terrell. I'm co-chair of the Black Hills for Bernie Sanders. I've actually been involved with this since the first announcement back in last June when Sanders first announced his campaign. I was at the library here when he gave his first speech. So this is my first political campaign that I've worked. First candidate, someone else said that as far as that goes. First candidate I felt that I could actually support and had sent money to and just be involved as far as that goes. I'm also a teacher here in South Dakota. I teach mathematics and I've taught civics and government. So it's very involved as far as that level and educating individuals on how to engage in the process, re-engage in the process, or whatever that looks like. So I've just been involved in trying to get things kind of stirred up here, West River. I'm also from Texas, so welcome Texas. Dallas-Fort Worth area. I've been a lobbyist down there, not official, but spent many hours in Austin, Texas, lobbying for various things, talking to whoever would stop long enough to listen. So very involved on that level, and I have no fear. So whatever needs to happen, we step up and do it.
Want to introduce yourself, Miller?
Miller, as Rachel said, I'm the volunteer coordinator. I also, for some reason, drive out to every Democratic Party meeting with every county in about a 100-mile radius. Worked on several campaigns over the past 3 years, all of them local and legislative. Also worked in the various queer organizations, and voter registration. Do a lot of that. We're going to be canvassing in a couple hours.
Yeah, he's a real powerhouse for voter registration. You guys can zoom in closer if you want.
I think that's for the most of. That's everyone that's actually on the active.
Did that work? Can you guys hear me? I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Did you guys hear me say like the whole part about us being delegates and stuff?
No.
Rachel and Miller and myself, Josh, are three of the top 7 delegates that will for sure be going to Philadelphia this summer.
I'm not top 7.
Top 7?
No, I think I'm number 9, actually. But Miller's.
Are you going to run at the convention?
Yeah, I intend to. Miller's number 3, so.
I think I'm 5.
Oh, he's 5. Yeah.
Or maybe I am 3. I don't know.
Something like that. He's top 7.
I think I'm the 3rd male or 2nd male, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, third male, so you'd be the top 6, and then I'm number 7. I know that.
Yeah.
See you in Philly.
So what are our objectives for this call? What are we just wanted to introduce each other, or do we have any ideas for what we're doing in general in South Dakota? Just kind of like a strategy that we could all kind of get an idea about so we can coordinate a little bit better?
Yeah, I'd love to talk about strategy. So my experiences in the past states has been to primarily focus on voter contact. voter contact being through phone banking, primarily through canvassing. It's the most effective tool we have organizing to actually reach out and get people to show up to caucuses or primaries. It's worked for us extensively in Oklahoma. We went in with about a 3.5-week window. We aborted phone calls. We decided to do all door-to-door canvassing, and then we flipped that state 20 points in 3.5 weeks. That's basically on volunteers. That's not on us. So it's the legwork that you all will put in that will be whether or not we can increase that 8 to 12%, because that's what we look at is with our efforts on the ground, we can hopefully get voter turnout increased by about 12% is the number we're looking at. It's a little bit different in South Dakota. Since California is going to get the bulk of kind of the outside calls, phone banking is going to be still a necessity here, but we also want to make sure that we're on doors whenever possible, because those are the top quality conversations we can have. So I'd love to get all the tools in y'all's hands as quick as possible as far as mainly our database, because how we ID people really goes into like our overall operation on how we identify our Bernie people and how do we go back and make sure that they actually show up and get their vote in. So we use a pretty slick app called Minivan, and it syncs up with our data. So we buy data from the Democratic Party. It's pretty good. It's not perfect. It can be outdated. It can be frustrating, but on the whole, it's pretty solid. So it gives us an idea where those potential Bernie supporters are, and these are independents and Democrats. So once we can go in and go neighborhood by neighborhood, block by block, and figure out where there's really dense areas of Bernie people, we can maximize our time knocking on doors. So it's as simple as downloading the app, and then I cut turf for you all based on wherever you want to go knock on doors, and you enter a code in, and it pulls up a map, and it pulls up houses, and it pulls up all of our registered voters we have here. So it's pretty good, because that way all you have to do is hit a button, and it synchronizes that data. So then we can upload that, we can refresh that, and we can go back into that towards that last weekend and reach out to all of our identified Bernie people in our system, whether it's calling, texting, email blast, all that annoying stuff that will inevitably be happening. It's going to be, because of the hard work that you guys are able to do on the phones and on the ground the next, 2.5 weeks before that final push. So I'd love to get some PDFs in your hands to look at as far as how to use that app. And then also, if people are old school, the best I can do is just get you PDFs of dense kind of targets that we have in whatever county or city that you're looking to go. I know we have our statewide targets, but really, I'm not going to shy away. Wherever anybody wants to go, we can cut turf for that, and people can target their own home. But once we get our targeting up to, I'll share everybody on where our top priority targets are, because I want to be as transparent as possible. So.
Can I say something about that? Sorry, just something like really small about that, because I witnessed that in Iowa when I was helping with Sioux City, and it was super easy using the app and then printing off the lists, and I really think it made a difference in Iowa, because Hillary was expected to win Iowa, and we pretty much tied. And they took that information, those lists, and it was so easy and so organized, and we just went to these exact neighborhoods and hit up everybody that was likely to be a Bernie supporter. And it was just amazing how much a difference it made, because people were like not sure where they were going, so it even had the information. We figured out like where they were supposed to go and said, yeah, you just need to go to this particular church polling center or school or whatever at this time, and it was just amazing, I think, how impactful it was. Sorry, I got excited because I got to witness some of that.
So I just wanted to let you guys know that over here we have Vote Builder access. I haven't played around with it yet, but I know Miller's played around with it. So I think we can join your. I think you have a campaign that we can join, or how does that work? Something like that.
That's it. There's a couple ways it can work. That's Josh for.
Yeah. So so Josh, if you're on Vote Builder. I think there's way, which obviously you are, but I think there's a way for us to connect on Vote Builders so that, and I don't know if you feel comfortable with that or what's there. Paul Thronson also I know has Vote Builder contact as well.
Cully actually has access to it too in Brookings, so we have about 3 or 4 different people in our resource to access Vote Builder.
That's great. I'm going to work on getting accounts set up where I can just have you guys be kind of synchronized with our data, so you guys can just log on with your own address so we can just do it all that way. I'm working on that right now with our data folks, but I'm trying to get at least 20 or 30 accounts set up where you can have access to at least viewing some data and definitely helping being on the strategy side of things. So the other thing,
Josh,
go ahead.
Do you have a location set up for the potential meetings that you wanted on Wednesday and Thursday?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to bring up. Wednesday in here in Sioux Falls. It's going to be at our office. I'm going over to the location right now just to verify everything, but we should have access to that space. So Sioux Falls, we're looking pretty good, but still would like any suggestions or ideas on leads out the west side in Rapid City for Thursday. Any space that could accommodate for, I would say, 30 plus would be excellent. These are hour-long type of organizational meetings. We just try to email blast it to everybody we know in our system because we want to try to harbor some excitement around the national campaign being in town. And that's not because we're big, bad, and we're awesome, but it's just trying to figure out ways we can inject life. And sometimes people react differently for whatever reason, I don't know why, to the national campaign. So we just try to use it as a tool to bring more people on board, to join your amazing organizations and, strengthen numbers type thing. So, we really want to take advantage of these events this week so we can just kind of be all engines go for the rest of the primary.
Josh, would those contacts be through anyone who has signed up to volunteer through the official Bernie site?
Correct. Yeah, that's one of the ways we pull that. We will essentially pull anybody who's ever, visited the Bernie site as far as left their name. We'll pull people who've, ever phone banked, whoever's been ID'd on a phone bank. So, we'll send, a giant email blast out. I'm working on getting a text messaging blast sent as well. We had our access shut down when I was in Indiana, but hopefully we can get that back up because I love the app. I fell in love with it hard in Oklahoma. It was interesting. We have this mass texting app that's called Hustle. It just got, I think it was created about 10 months ago, but it changed the way we organized across the country. We were able to reach so many more people fast because nowadays people just respond to text. If I leave a voicemail, sometimes, or I would say 60% of the time, people don't respond. But text messages, it's where it's at. So hopefully we can use this as a tool. But it's going to be kind of, it's going to be bare bones here. We're going to get literature. We're going to have trifolds, indoor hangers. That's for sure. I've sent that order in. I just don't know when it's going to get here. So it's going to be kind of a scrappy operation. We're going to have to, as much digitally as we can, we'll go that route. If not, then I can just get the PDFs in your hand and y'all can print that out. But, it's exciting because we're just not going to get a fleet of resources and or staff, but I think that just being on the ground for 2 days and reaching out to the organizations and the folks around here, it feels a lot like Oklahoma felt, where it was just like this really rabid progressive base that isn't a conservative state that has been kind of just at the short end of the stick for a long time. So it makes it even more conducive to really go at it for Bernie, because I think our biggest challenge is how do we reach our demographic of folks that are traditionally, I would say a third of them are more politically disengaged, and it's tough and it's uphill battle to fight. But I think we've done it before. We're going to do it again, and we're picking up more and more momentum as this thing goes, and I think we're not stopping. And this is our way showing the senator here in South Dakota that, hey, thanks for coming to visit early, but and hopefully give us a boost for the next 3 weeks.
I think go ahead.
I have a question about, you said door hangers and that sort of thing. Is there a way that if I go to Sioux Falls that I can get extra of that, or should I just place my own order for the area that I'm kind of covering? I'm hoping to get at least a few thousand from this area for Bernie, when you combine like Elk Point area with Vermilion area and that sort of thing.
Sure. I mean, I'm definitely happy to help spread the resources out, whether it's me driving and meeting you all to drop those resources off. I'm definitely fine with that. I think that's the best way forward. Offhand, I believe I've ordered 25,000 pieces of literature, so I think we will be pretty good. I don't see us using 20,000 pieces of lit here in any city. So I think we'll have plenty of lit across the state. This is I know I've ordered, I think, a couple thousand literature that's focused on Native American issues. The bulk of it is door hangers and then just basic Bernie things. I don't want to get too kind of tricky. Just wanted to get the best stuff that we had, get it out there as quick as we could.
I was actually going to ask about the literature that was going to be available for Natives for Bernie and stuff, but also on top of that, is there going to be like the Natives for Bernie, the actual signs, or like the turquoise that Nicole usually has?
You kind of cut off, but I think the question was about signage or anything of the sorts?
Well, just like the stuff that actually says Natives for Bernie, the stuff that Nicole usually has on her. Like,
yeah,
we didn't get anything East River. A volunteer distributed all of the stuff in Pine Ridge, so we actually all of us in Sioux City didn't get anything.
Yeah, we'll have. I don't want to.
Look at me! I called it Sioux City, by the way. It's Sioux Falls.
I don't want to break any hearts, but I don't anticipate getting anything other than literature. It was tough for us to get things in Indiana. It was tough for us to get things in Oklahoma. We did get some things in Indiana and Oklahoma. It just was late. I don't foresee us getting anything of the sort, unfortunately. That's just where we're at in the campaign. California is going to suck everything resource west. It's just a matter of fact, and frankly, I think that's a good idea. Not that I don't love, South Dakota, because I do after being here for 2 days. But California is the big one, and we can. I think in these other states, I've seen that yard signs. Right here's my rant about yard signs. Yard signs. They don't. I'm all about signage and stuff. I get it. People love to rep Bernie, but yard signs are like just the worst thing that was ever created, because people come in the office looking for yard signs, and that's all they want is yard signs. And what we need is, obviously we need people to have conversations. I don't expect everybody to go knock on 100 doors every day. However, involvement is key, and having multiple conversations is key. So I have like this thing, I have a resentment towards yard signs because I've had so many people just be so nasty about, where's my Bernie yard sign? And I'm just like, I have nothing to do with it. If I had 1,000 of them, trust me, I'd get rid of them as fast as I could. But the unfortunate thing is, we're just not going to have a lot of stickers and the cool swag. I wish we could, but I don't even have a printer. Let's just put it that way. I mean, I have nothing. I'm walking into this office with absolutely nothing. So I'm going to work on some things, but like I said, California will be sucking pretty much us resource dry. So.
Where is the office in Sioux Falls?
It's yet to be determined, but it should be on 635 Main Street off of 6th Street.
What if we made like if we needed more resources, what if we made like a GoFundMe page? Because I assume you can still buy these things off of Bernie Sanders' website. It could get expensive if one person had to pay for it out of pocket, but if we all came in together and made like a GoFundMe page and potentially for South Dakota resources, then we could get some of the swag that you're talking about that we may not get otherwise. Not that means that necessarily that we're going to get South Dakota because of the swag or not.
Sure. No, other organizations in Indiana did that exact thing. Is they had some fundraisers and some like Bands for Bernie events, and they bought a couple organizing kits that you can get off the website, and that way they had their own source of stickers and signs and whatnot. And it's one of those unfortunate things. I wish I had the resources, but I right now we're fighting for a lot of things.
Is there any way to be able to reach out to past states that perhaps have carryover from all of the swag that they were able to get?
We've coordinated with all that stuff.
Send it in.
We've coordinated all that stuff already, and unfortunately, like I said, most of it's going to California. I know in Indiana, when we finished, we took everything to Kentucky, and so that's kind of how it goes. Is once you close a state out, you just go immediately to the next closest state. So as of right now, like I said, we're getting literature ordered, but as far as like any leftover signage or stickers or that like coveted stuff, it's eaten pretty fast.
And Josh, if somebody's been born and raised in South Dakota, we usually don't matter. We are grateful you are here, and we're just happy to have any part in this process at all. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, I mean, I think the great thing about this movement is, I mean, we're gonna prove that each of these states we do matter in a big way. I think everybody saw what happened in Nevada yesterday. There's frustration and I think a lot of it has to do with not being taken seriously. A lot of it is, okay, these Bernie people, they've had their months of rallies and whatnot, but as soon as we get them out of the picture, let's put a fork in them and write their obituary. But the reality is, we're going to a contested convention. It's not going to be like it was in 2008. Bernie isn't going to take some sort of Secretary of State job and go in willingly. So what that means is every state's going to have a faction, and I would like to challenge the Clinton campaign to match that, because they don't have the enthusiasm behind their movement. They just don't. They don't even have a movement. It's the establishment. So what's going to happen is we're going to bring it to the convention, and they don't want to see that because we have the overwhelmingly support of the electorate. In my opinion, I think it's. These primaries and caucuses are set up for the establishment. That's been most apparent. They don't want this fight to go all the way to the convention. They sure as hell don't want us to win California and win, Montana and the Dakotas and New Mexico, because what that's going to look like is all of a sudden we go into the convention and Hillary's only won a couple states since March 1st. and you tell me who's the candidate who's going to have the best chance of beating Trump. And we're making the case every state that Bernie is that candidate. So states like Montana, states like South Dakota, North Dakota, they do matter because we make the case state by state, vote by vote, and then when necessary, we'll bring that fight to the convention. So
I
If
have
I
a
can
question.
add, in 2008, I was a co-captain for our district here, and for the Obama campaign, and as much as it seems like South Dakota doesn't matter, the race at that point, with California and stuff, it all came down to a really tight margin. And here in Roberts County, we actually only had like 103 or 104 votes ahead of Hillary Clinton, and although she won the state of South Dakota, with the help of Roberts County here and then the win over in Pine Ridge and stuff too, it actually did make the difference and help secure Obama's nomination and stuff, or at least that's what we were told the day after. So for any misconception that we're so small of a state and we only have 20-some delegates or stuff, points and stuff, but it makes all the difference, and I'm going to be attesting to that for the rest of my life.
So a question that I have is, what kind of information is given out to Bernie Sanders delegates who are headed to the national convention? I have this concern that a lot of people are going, but we don't really, whoever's going doesn't really know what's going on when we get there, and that's going to put us at a huge disadvantage. So we need to know actually, what the process is, what the everything that's going to be going on, what we can be involved in, what our rights are, and what the rules are regarding the convention. And I think that's extremely important going into it.
Sure. We have a convention team that we put together 2 weeks ago. They're explicitly working on this, and they will be reaching out to all of the states' delegates accordingly. Obviously, right now, June 7th, we have 3.5 weeks. I totally hear what you're saying and your concerns, but just to hopefully reassure you, we have a convention team that was put together a couple weeks ago. They're put into place just for to address that issue.
Good deal. Good deal. That's good to know. So we only have about a week left until voter registration ends. Is there anything that, I'm kind of looking at my week, and if you're coming in on Thursday, which I'm still looking for a place for you, but if that's the case, we probably can't do too much more voter registration stuff here.
What I'm trying to do is basically recruit more people for voter registration stuff. We've been planning on doing canvassing as a voter registration method that can be swapped over to literature very quickly, or even incorporated with voter registration. That's once you have people wandering the neighborhood, they can do whatever. But as Rachel said, time.
Yeah, we've just got
the deadline to register the deadline to register to vote and vote in the primary is May 23rd. You have to be registered 15 days before the election, but you can buy a gun in one day. I don't get it. So I don't know if you could push the meeting back to the 24th, if that would be bad, but or maybe like on a weekend before canvassing when people have some time, but there's only so many hours of daylight.
Yeah. And
we have to get people when they're home and before the sun goes down.
Yeah, here's my thing: is we need to get this operate. I know that there's plenty of operations off the ground, but we just need to have capitalize off these Bernie visits last week as quick as we can. I don't think an hour meeting necessarily hopefully won't distract too much from what you all do, but we just really need to at this point bring more and more people to the table. And so I definitely hear you. Voter registration is a really big priority. However, it is also a priority to just really increase volunteers here too. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. I totally hear that 100%. But we need to be having like these organizational meetings as quick as we can, just to get more of a volunteer base, try to build off these Bernie events and get whatever we can possibly get quick, because we have 3 weekends essentially of action left, and it's something that we want to have a sense of urgency. We want to have that from the get-go. So.
Okay.
All right.
Well, if anybody has any questions, like any more specific questions for Josh as far as setting up the meetings or anything else that we need to jump on this week, now been on this call for about an hour now, so if we can kind of start really getting down, I think we got a good idea of what's going on, and what to expect and everything, and as far as resources we have to offer, we have someone in the northwestern part of the state as well, and that's like Cheyenne Eagle Butte and Standing Rock and things like that. We'll be able to help you create those links and stuff to different reservations and everything. And out west there's actually it's a larger area, but the population isn't as big as you think it would be, but with the 2 reservations there, it's going to be really easy to reach out to them as well.
And Josh, our Sioux Falls Volunteers group, we have a couple meetings on Monday and Tuesday. We've been limiting what we put on the Bernie site to just Bernie-specific events. So if there's information you'd like on that, we can share that out with you as well.
Awesome, that's great. I'd like to kind of get like a Dropbox or something created where I can put all these documents in a folder, so I think the whole group has access to it. And I'd love to, once we get our targeting off the ground, I'd love to just reach out to, individual factions across the state to say, this is what we've identified as priority as far as precincts go, get down to really the nitty-gritty. Obviously, like you all mentioned, voter reg is crucial, so we don't want to jump the gun too much. But I want to give you an idea of, hey, this is some of our targeting. This is where we think it's really ripe for Bernie voters and high-density areas, and hopefully get this thing done. So really excited to be here, guys, and look forward to meeting you all in person, hopefully. I plan on going across the state and would love to have, meetings and drop in whenever I can. So.
And then, Josh, if I can add, we have a South Dakota Progressive Volunteers group page, and it's private, and there is actually a Dropbox and everything on there for Facebook and, file sharing and things like that. And we can add you to that and make it, easier accessible for you to share things like that with us.
Yeah, that would be great. That'd be awesome.
And
Thanks, Josh.
We'll likely have some extra contacts and emails that Paul Thronson has collected over the course of his work as well. So we'll get everybody connected.
Excellent. That's great.
Well, Josh, Sioux Falls folk and around the Sioux Falls area look forward to seeing you on Wednesday.
Great. Thanks so much, and hopefully I'll talk with all of y'all soon.
Thanks.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
We'll actually be planning.
Bye.
All right. See ya.